You guys are clearly interested in Belize. That's what my YouTube videos tell me. So I'm going to give you 10 reasons you should not move there. If you can't handle these 10 things, Belize is not for you. Let's dig in. If you're an Amazon Prime addict, if you love to shop and you love hanging in big fancy malls, Belize is not for you. Yes, there are not many shopping malls in Belize. In fact, a lot of people go to Chetumal, Mexico, or to other parts of the region and back to the States to shop and then come back. So that's something you need to know. Public transportation is a drag. I think I've mentioned it briefly in my other videos, but the public transportation means these high school buses that are imported from the US that are used. So if you have back issues, you don't have a lot of time, it's not very convenient, and you're going to want to drive. If you live on the islands, you probably won't need it as much, but you'll still need it to get to other towns. And there are big coach buses that take you from Punta Gorda in the deep south to Belize City, but that's not always the case. There are water taxis that take you to the Keys. Those are usually also kind of a painful experience. Lots of crowds, you have to get in front of the line. Know that ahead of time that you would have to put up with that. I know this is obvious, but there are people who are not water people. Why would you want to be in Belize if you don't like to be around the ocean? Because a lot of life there is based around the barrier reef. You know, a lot of people derive their income from that, and they also have to catch a boat and go to the Keys. If you can't enjoy that, you're missing out big time. Some of the most beautiful parts of Belize are on the water. So bugs and wildlife. Some of you brought this up on my previous videos. Yes, it is very true. Belize is very lush, very wild on the inland, and you will find some creepy crawlies, some of which are scary, like poisonous snakes. Yes, Belize is home to several poisonous snake species in the rainforest. Now, the probability of you running into them is kind of low, but it's a possibility in the rainy season. That's when they kind of come out. They also come out at night. So it's very rare, but you could be one of those people. So it's good to know these things and whether you want to live in a place that has these creepy crawlies. The mosquitoes are pretty bad in the rainy season, and so are the sandflies. So you're going to want to have to get used to applying mosquito spray all the time and being on the lookout. Ladies, street harassment is a thing here, just like in the Greater Caribbean, unfortunately. You can't walk in peace without somebody hollering at you. That's very common in Belize, and sometimes it could be pervasive on some of the keys where there's a lot of tourism. So, just know that you'll have to know how to handle that. What can I tell you? It's a global problem. If you come from a big city and you're looking for action, or you think you're going to have lots of social circles and no one is going to know your business, Belize is not for you. I mentioned before, there's a lot of gossip, and that's because it's a very, very small population of less than 500,000, and it's, people are usually in clusters in different parts of the country, so everyone will know your business. So if you're okay with that, and if you're okay with occasionally being socially isolated, that's what it is. If you have serious health conditions that require constant specialized care, or you have an urgent condition that pops up, emergency, then Belize is not for you. You're going to want to go to Mexico, or you'll have to fly back to the States for that. Belize does have private clinics, hospitals, and you can get your basic primary care and routine care. But anything that is really serious and beyond that, you want to think twice about that. If you're someone who needs things to happen like yesterday, forget it. The Caribbean as a whole is not for you. Neither is Belize, okay? First of all, everything shuts down on Sundays, by the way. Everything, except maybe for the Chinese restaurant, which, the bureaucracy is very slow when you need paperwork done. And it's something that you're just going to have to get used to. If you don't think you can, you might want to rethink that. Because every 30 days, you have to renew your visitor visa. You got to get a new stamp every 30 days, go to the immigration office. I mentioned this before. And so that's going to take money out of your pocket. And if you're not good with paperwork, you're not good with follow through, you don't want to go there. And if you don't want to spend the money too, it's quite a lot. So if you're someone who needs to find everything you need online, again, forget it. Like, you're not going to find your perfect little apartment in a particular area online. You have to go there, look for it yourself, ask around, make sure you know which neighborhood you want to live in. And you definitely want to also consult an agent, a real estate agent, and make sure it's a trustworthy one that people recommend. Look up some of the Facebook groups for Belize, but you definitely are not going to find stuff online by the click of a button like you do stateside. So this is something that you want to keep in mind. If you don't have the patience, maybe it's not for you. If you live in a small town outside of main cities, you're going to notice that most of the grocery shops are owned and run by Chinese immigrants. These are folks who've been in Belize for many generations, but there are also groups that came to Belize more recently. So there's a difference, and you'll notice it. That's all I'm going to say. But you might not always have access to the kind of quality grocery stores that you want if you live outside of a main city. If you need to travel internationally frequently, then you want to have a lot of money saved up for that, because flying out of Belize can be expensive. There are a lot more flights to the States now, so that's not so much of a problem. But say you want to go to Europe or you want to go to Asia, etc., it's just Africa. It's going to be more complicated out of Belize. And last but not least, ladies and men, don't be going the road of Stella got her groove back. Be careful. Don't fall in love very quickly. I'm saying this because a lot of people do get carried away by the island life and the tropical life in the Caribbean and Central America, and they meet someone and they think it's the big love. But slow your roll, be careful, and take your time in getting to know people. It's no different than anywhere else in the world, so don't be fooled and don't let that hot sun get to your head. Please, which one of these is a deal breaker for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you're a Belize resident, immigrant, let me know as well what other people should know that might be a deal breaker for them. Remember to subscribe and follow every Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, new video for more advice about living abroad, about the travel industry, and about places to go.